We were taught that if we work harder than everybody else, we'll win. That's been a dangerous lie in modern society. Hear me out. We were trained to trade time for money, but time is limited and ownership isn't. If you stop working, your income stops. You don't own it. And if you don't own it, you're still stuck in the matrix. My name's Mark, aka Create Lifestyle. I help people break out of this matrix so that they can create abundance, peace of mind, residual income, freedom, and leave a powerful legacy. That is what we are doing. The hardest working people in our society are the most replaceable because we sell our time for money. We don't own anything. So it's not that the lie isn't that hard work is bad. The lie is that hard work alone creates wealth. We were told all our lives, go out and work hard and everything will turn out all right. As I mentioned, the hardest workers in society, they're the most replaceable because they sell their time. They don't own things. Wealth comes from ownership, And if you're stuck in the matrix, it's so hard to get out of it because you don't own things. People that appear to be successful come from, if you check their backgrounds, a lot of them, most of them come from backgrounds that have support. They have financial support. They have networks. They have resources that they can tap into. Most people that are struggling to get out of this matrix are trapped because they don't have resources to invest. They don't have resources to take time to learn skills, to learn things that translate into ownership. This is part of the big myth. Work hard, become a self-made person, everything will be all right. But the truth of the matter is, people don't have time and energy to invest in themselves to go out and create things because they're trapped on this cycle of going to work, getting paid, pay your bills, week in, week out, month in, month out, decade out. Now, while you're in it, it's honorable. You're thinking to yourself, hey, I'm handling my business. I'm getting my bills paid. I'm putting my kids through school. I'm doing all these honorable things. But what is happening is your life force is getting sucked out. So breaking out of this matrix, it means shifting from an employee thinking to ownership thinking. Shifting from hustle to leverage. Shifting from time for money to asset-based income. As I mentioned, hard work is noble, but without ownership, it keeps you trapped. So right now we have a solution. We have a way out of this thing. And it is a turnkey system that helps you get out onto the internet and create some income. So go to myconsciousturnkey.com. That's myconsciousturnkey.com. And everything will be explained on how you can get out there and begin to create some ownership and some leverage and break out of this matrix. So, again, we were told to work hard, be loyal, stay consistent. But look around. Who's the hardest working people? Nurses, they work long hours. Construction workers, truck drivers, factory workers, waiters. My background is in hospitality. I worked many years in catering and the like, all things from serving, bartending, that whole lifestyle. And we worked long hours. I'd be at work at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I'd work all the way through to like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and come back the next day, do it again, and do that for lots of days in a row before I had some time off. Was I working hard? Yes. Was I getting rich? No. And that's what most people do. We work hard, but ownership is the key to breaking out of this matrix. So how are you going to get ownership? You have a great business idea, where do you get the capital for that? You're following some stocks, in the marketplace. Where do you get the capital for that? Yeah, throw like $30,000, $40,000 at something and pull it in and pull it out. Where do you get the capital for that? So we're talking ownership. How do you create that? So again, go to myconsciousturnkey.com. I mean, you're a good person. You're a conscious person. You're waking up to the realities of this matrix. You're going to need your money to continue the journey. So go to myconsciousturnkey.com. So again, there's only a few ways to really make money. You can either sell your time, which is you're trading your hours for dollars. If you stop working, your income stops. There's a ceiling. Or you can own assets, stocks, businesses, intellectual property, digital systems. Make money while you're not present. That's how the money flows. That's leverage. That's ownership. That's freedom. So that's what we're working on. Hard work can keep people trapped. If you're working 60, 70 hours a week, how are you going to learn something new? How are you going to build an asset? How are you going to create something that's scalable? What is scalable? What does that mean? That means once you create the system, that you can get it to expand exponentially. You have 2, then you have 4, then you have 8, so on and so forth. So you're not surviving. You're not building anything. This matrix, it just keeps us busy, So you can never create anything. Wealth's built on ownership. Wealth comes from ownership, equity, assets, systems, leverage. So let me be clear. I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying hard work don't matter. Hard work does matter, but it has to be strategic, directed, and focused. So we're building systems. We're creating digital leverage. The matrix wants us just to work harder. Freedom teaches us to own more. So the moment we shift from how can I earn more per hour to how can I earn without being there, that's when we break out of this matrix. That's when our sovereignty begins. So go to myconsciousturnkey.com. Don't just listen, investigate. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, he says, you may not be able to do all that you find out, but find out all that you can do. So, in closing, work's honorable, but hard work is never going to create some wealth and break you out of this matrix. Ownership does, leverage does, systems do. Stop running on a hamster mill and start building something that you can own. myconsciousturnkey.com. As always, peace, one love, and control your destiny.